Just as of right now, as I am recording this video, RFK Jr. has officially announced he will seek the presidency as an independent. Now, the questions here are, will RFK Jr. pull votes from Trump or from Joe Biden? There's a strong argument it could be either. Some suggest that with two anti-establishment forces on the ballot, you will see the anti-establishment forces lose. They will take from each other. But my friends, please listen to RFK Jr.'s speech to know he ain't taking a single vote from Donald Trump. Dude, look, I like RFK Jr. for a variety of reasons, but homeboy came out with all woke leftist talking points. That's it. It was DEI, okay? And I'm not trying to rag on the guy. He was talking about it's time for this country to recognize Indigenous Peoples Days, stuff like that. And he's making a lot of points that I think many would consider to be woke and are not going to fly among Trump supporters. Which means, when you look at the polls, what do you see? RFK Jr. in a Democratic primary polls against Joe Biden around, well, depending on who, it's a wide range. Some say 7, some say 17. But most of the polls, and we had a People's Pundit on the show last week, or not last week, the week before. Polls show probably around 14% is probably a safe number. This means Donald Trump could win Maine. Yeah, that's right. Joe Biden runs. RFK runs as an independent. He's got a massive following. Donald Trump runs, and then you will see a three-way race. I think this could result in a major Trump victory in places where he should not even win. Like Maine. Sun Sentinel reports. Actually, he's currently speaking live right now, and I started recording immediately the moment he announced that he would be running, and he did. Let's just play some of the live for you right here.
They knew that if their revolution failed, every last one of them would be hanged. They chose to place everything on the line. When John Adams put his pen down after adding his signature to the Declaration, he turned to those present and he said to them, sink or swim, live or die, survive or perish. From this day on, I am with my country. I'm going to make that same pledge to you today so that I can stand before you as every leader should stand before you, free of partisan allegiance. Free from the backroom deals, servant only to my conscience, to my creator, and to you.
All Democrat voters right there, you can see. Look, I'm just going to say it. He came out and he said, we're going to have a new declaration of independence against the corporations. And it's like, look, I'm telling you, it is more so Democrat talking points. So let's play this game. Let's say that RFK Jr. is polling at around 14% among Democrats. This means that with Democrats being, what are they? Let's just say like 45. Let's say half. Let's just say half of the voter base. If we're typically looking at elections where it's like 50-50, let's say, to be fair, Democrats representing about 14%. RFK Jr. representing about 14% of Democrats. Okay, RFK Jr. getting support from around 14% of Democrats. You get my point. Let's extrapolate that to the general and say it's not going to be a perfect 1-for-1. The primary voters are more active Democrat voters, but I think sentiment probably does translate. Let's just cut it in half because now you're up against the rest of the population and only half or so may be voting in the Democratic primary. We could be looking at 5 to 6 points being ripped away from Joe Biden. Now let's entertain the possibility he does pull some from Donald Trump. Trump ain't going to be losing that much. Okay, like maybe Trump loses a point or two. That's all that matters, is that he's going to take a bigger chunk from Democrats with Democrat talking points. The dude is running on celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day. It's Columbus Day. They changed it. That's what he's running on. And again, I like the guy. He's anti-establishment. I think you're allowed to have these opinions. People are allowed to have a lot of bad opinions, and we'll argue them. I think RFK is a dude who supported freedom when it came to COVID, supported free speech, but he's a liberal. We got a tweet from Mike Cernovich. Actually, somewhere I have a tweet from Mike Cernovich. Do I have the Mike Cernovich? Actually, maybe I don't have the tweet from Mike Cernovich pulled up. I thought I did. Okay, never mind. Unfortunately, wait. Do I have it? There we go. I got it. He said, RFK Jr. would lock down the country over climate change. He's a hyperventilating ishlib who pivoted right on some issues as conservatives media is all he can get. He's very jacked and a good example of a healthy man. Admirable in that way. Don't be a goofball. Still an ishlib. I don't think it matters. I don't think he's pulling from Donald Trump. Fighting a sneeze. Forgive me. WBBM Radio says majority of Republicans want the next House Speaker to be loyal to Trump. Yeah, because Trump's the front runner. That's all that matters. Now, CNN says RFK Jr. is polling high for an independent, but it may not last. They have to say this. I think they're scared. I think that RFK, they know he's going to pull from Democrats. I think they've lost control. The establishment is flailing, is floundering, and this is an inevitability. Joe Biden cannot be the candidate. He has to drop out, but they keep saying he's going to run. Okay, let him run. He can't win. It's funny to me when people, these DeSantis types, neocons say Trump can't win when Trump is polling better than he did in 2020. Yeah, Trump only needed 42,000 votes in 3 states to have won. You can get every Democrat in a city to vote. It doesn't change the electoral system, which is why they're desperately trying to change it to a popular vote system, which is bad. RFK Jr. was an inevitability. The Democrats are keeping out real contenders, and we are sick of the machine. So RFK is mounting what should have been what Bernie did. But Bernie bent the knee. RFK Jr. is coming out now and saying the corporations, the big businesses, while supporting all of these leftist woke talking points. More power to him. But I don't see him pulling from Trump. I just pulled up that speech. These people standing there, they look like urban liberals. Okay. And maybe it's just the location that he chose. Fine. But I think when you look at the polling data, we have this presidential primary Democrat side. October 2nd, Biden versus Kennedy. Kennedy's at 17%. Oh, Biden crushes him for sure. But that's not what matters. What matters is that Kennedy is running as an independent. And there will be many people, don't know, don't care, voting for Kennedy. You know why? The argument goes that with 2 anti-establishment candidates, the anti-establishment loses. I'm not so convinced. I'll give you this argument. These people would have voted Joe Biden in 2020. They probably did. But they're sick of it. They just don't like Trump. Now they're saying, if you want to give us a broken machine, I'll vote for whoever I have to vote for. And not only that, with many anti-establishment voters, what they're basically saying is, I don't care if my vote for Kennedy costs Democrats the election. A traditional Democrat voter who either wouldn't have voted or would only vote for Kennedy, Trump's not losing those people. So when you see Kennedy announcing this statement, what do you get? In all likelihood, he will be pulling from the Democrats and not for Trump. That being said, there are a lot of people who have pointed out Donald Trump's stance on COVID and Fauci and his demand. He refuses to back down. A lot of people won't vote for him for that. And I don't know if that's true because I think most people are actually with Trump. I think Trump's doing this for a reason. I had this argument with Luke. Luke Rakowski was saying Trump needs to apologize. I'm like, why? You're not going to vote for him anyway. Why would Trump apologize to a libertarian who's not going to vote for him? Luke doesn't like being called a libertarian, but Luke's not going to vote for any of these guys. Trump is looking at it from a mass media perspective. The average person does not want to believe they did anything wrong during COVID, and they want to believe they did the right thing. And Trump wants to maintain that facade despite knowing his base doesn't care. That's the reality. His base may spit and yell and complain. They'll say Trump this, Trump that, and Trump's like, yeah, but you're still voting for me. Yep. He also knows that if he goes to regular Americans and says, hey, you know that vaccine that I rolled out? Yeah, I'm going to come out and criticize it. He's going to lose voters. He's going to cause panic. So he's going to go for the middle ground and say, no, we did a great job. We saved hundreds of millions of lives. He's going to roll with that because he knows the people who would disagree or would be upset with Trump over his policies, they're voting for him anyway. That's just it. Now, perhaps you may end up getting some libertarians voting for Kennedy. I really doubt it. I don't see who Kennedy can get to vote for him except for Democrats, disillusioned Democrats who don't like the Democratic Party. And I have to wonder. I think Kennedy knows he will spike the Democrats and help Donald Trump. And this is it. It's revenge. You put Kennedy on as a Democratic nominee, your chance of winning goes up. but they are such a corrupt and broken machine, they won't do it. Kennedy is still giving a speech, but this is huge news, which could spell the apocalypse for Democrats. But we'll see. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimcastIRL. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.